East Coast of the United States. And the Lord has inspired me to share the dream that He had given me on concerning Donald Trump. Now, this was some time ago. This was maybe about a year ago. And at that time, Donald Trump had been in office almost a year, and he was getting a lot of things done. And people were they were concerned that they weren't hearing any news concerning arrests of people in high places. And they knew that Donald Trump and his team, his military team, he is surrounded by many, many generals and admirals and lieutenants and high ranking intelligence officers. And we all knew, everybody knew who is plugged into the alternative news media, knew that he had information and evidence against very many people in high places that have been guilty of many high crimes. And there was a feeling or a mood in the country at that time as to why don't we not see the arrests of people like Obama and Clinton and Comey and Brennan and Peter Strzok. Why are they getting away with these things? Why aren't they being fired from their jobs? There was some discontent there. And in that mood, there, that's when the dream came to answer this mood that was on the country. And the dream that I had was I walked into an operating room where a surgery was being done. And I was an observer. Now, picture with me, you're walking through the door of an operating room, and in front of you is the operating table. Now, this table is probably 20 feet long, and the person that is on the table is that big. He's 20 feet long, sort of kind of like one of the Nephilim. And there was just, I could see the head over here and I could see the feet over there, but between the head and the feet is nothing but solid surgeons. I could see them almost shoulder to shoulder, and I could see that on this side of the table, shoulder to shoulder, and on that side of the table, shoulder to shoulder. And these people were and the surrounding them was nurses, operating room nurses, and there was a fury of work being done. And I mean, there was blood flying and splattering up. There was blood on the floor. They were standing in blood, and they were removing organs. Okay, so we had like 6 surgeons over there working on the neck and shoulders. Then we had six, 6 more surgeons on this side and that side working on the upper chest, or all the way down to the waist. You couldn't see the person. All I could see was the head, and I could see the feet. And they were ripping organs out and throwing them. Like they were working in a fury trying to get these things out of here, out of that person. And then the nurses would bring in new organs. And so there was organ transplants being done from the head to the foot. And I looked over to the right, and there at the bottom, working on the Achilles tendons, was a surgeon doing repair of of the Achilles tendons. Both of the Achilles tendons had been snapped, and it was Donald Trump. And he was gowned and gloved, and he had blood splattered all over him. And as I walked up to the table, he pulls down his mask and he says to me, "This is going to take a while, so you better be patient." In other words, the interpretation is Donald Trump is remaking America. The man that was on the table was Uncle Sam, the symbol for America. You know, the guy that's really tall and dressed in red, white, and blue, stars and stripes. And then he pulls his mask back up and continues to work. Now, I was given discernment. Basically, what it is the interpretation is the remaking of America is going to take a while. Okay? So, why is that important? Because the people like you and me, just regular people, wage earners and taxpayers, raisers of children, have been experiencing impatience with all of these developments. We want him, we know that he's there to rip out the old and put in the new. Policies and administrative executive orders and rules and laws and people, especially taking people out of the ABC agencies, the FBI and the CIA and the NSA and the Federal Reserve and the IMF and all that. And so the lesson to take away from this dream is that we need to be patient. It takes a while to get all this information. The last time I heard, no, the second to the last time I heard about the number of sealed arrests orders was 45,000, that there was going to be 45,000 people arrested. Well, now I've heard that it's almost double that. It's about 75,000 people have arrest warrants written on them, and it's being served by the military that is close to Donald Trump. The very first arrests that I ever heard about was how the soldiers from Camp Pendleton made a sweep of California, because Camp Pendleton is in California. And they made a sweep of that country even before Donald Trump was inaugurated. So from November to what was it, February 10th, they had arrested 1,700 pedophiles. Okay, so basically what they're doing is they are going after the safety of the children that are used for pedophilia, for child trafficking, and for organ donation. So that's one of the things he wants to do. He wants to rip out the pedophile network. He wants to rip out MS-13. He wants to rip out the drug runners and replace them with, there would be nothing to replace them with. So they have to, those people are heading, will be and are now heading for Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba prison. And Donald Trump has a team helping him. He has expanded a facility down there. He has stocked it with food and everything that they need. There's been 67 new judges that have been hired and appointed to handle all of the military tribunals. And so this is all a part of making America great again is to get rid of all of the tares that are amongst the wheat. Because I'm going to tell you something. I hope you and I have felt the same thing, and that is that I'm tired of living amongst the filth, where I know we are surrounded by all kinds of gangs. We are surrounded by terrorists. We are surrounded by Marxist socialists who are trying to do nothing good for the country. And so this dream was sending a message to me and now to you that we're just to be patient, that the arrests are being made, and there's going to be a whole bunch more. So we have to be patient because this is going to take some time, as Donald Trump said in that dream. Okay, be encouraged by that. Sit back and realize that the ship is being piloted by a good man who loves America, and his objective is to clean out the swamp, like he said. All right, you have a good night. Now, this is going out on YouTube. What I need you to do is give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because once I get 1,000 subscribers, YouTube will monetize my channel, pay me for coming on with these teaching videos, and I can use that to go to the nations and preach. So please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And sometimes there's a little blue window there that says hit the bell. Hit the bell. If it does that, hit the bell. Thank you very much. Have a good night.